Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. Today's book is The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I listened to the audiobook of this one on my lunch breaks at work, and it's read by Jessie Cave and Lino Faccioli. So let's just get straight in with that, shall we? Two sworn enemies, a failing hotel, one chance to save the season. It's the busiest season of the year and Forest Manor Hotel is quite literally falling apart. So when Izzy and Lucas are given the same shift on the hotel's front desk, they have no choice but to put their differences aside and see it through. The hotel won't stay afloat beyond Christmas without some sort of miracle. But when Izzy returns a guest's lost wedding ring, the reward convinces management that this might be the way to fix everything. With 4 rings still sitting in lost property, the race is on for Izzy and Lucas to save their beloved hotel and their jobs. As their bitter rivalry turns into something much more complicated, Izzy and Lucas begin to wonder if there's more at stake here than the hotel's future. Can the two of them make it through the season with their hearts intact? So it was 10 hours and 21 minutes listened to. I read this on 1.5 speed, and it's in comedy, romantic, contemporary, target audience, adult, though I do think that teenagers would probably enjoy this book. I think the last audiobook I did by Beth O'Leary was The No Show, and I had my issues with that book. Like, there were certain parts I liked, some parts I didn't. Okay, I'm just going to take this off because it's very hot in this room. It feels like it's getting warmer. There we go. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. There's no type of atmosphere. But it's very, very warm in this house. So I love the duology of the title, because you've got the wake up call because it's set in a hotel, but then also because this is kind of enemies to lovers, it's that wake up call of figuring out what the hell is going on between these two people. So yeah, I love a title that has more than one meaning. So yeah, if you like the enemies to lovers trope, you'll very much enjoy this book. I don't think I have any bad things to say about this book. I thought it was so sweet. I love the voices of Jessie and Lino. Jessie Cave, most people will know from playing Lavender in the Harry Potter films, and for Lino, was he in Sex Education? I haven't watched Sex Education, so that's probably something that I should watch because I heard it was very good. It just managed to pass me by. I have no idea what's going on with this fringe at the moment. I just get very distracted when I can see myself. But yeah, I thought this was really sweet. I can totally imagine this as kind of one of those made-for-TV Christmas movies, whether it was like for Netflix and anything, because it just, even though it's not advertised as a Christmas book, it felt very Christmassy to read it because it's leading up to Christmas when they're saying that it's possible the hotel isn't going to make it into the new year. At the beginning of the book you find out that this was a very, very well respected hotel for quite a while, and then it's kind of just, it's fallen flat. At the very beginning of the book the roof falls in over reception, and the ceiling falls through, and so you go through the book, you see these two trying to raise money for the hotel to try and keep it going for as long as possible, but the owner is there going, no, I can't see this going beyond the new year unless some sort of miracle happens. And so in the process of trying to get money for the hotel, they go to lost property and start to sell things off that haven't been claimed for quite a long time. And I almost called her Jessie. Izzy, when she sees the engagement rings, there's 5 engagement rings or wedding rings that have never been claimed, she wants to reunite them with their owners. She's just like, we can't sell these are very personal things, and I feel like we should try and have a chance of reuniting these rings with their owners. And nobody can really understand why she gets so sentimental about it. It does come out later in the book. There is a reason why she is so sentimental about having these rings reunited with their owners, and the relationship between Izzy and Lucas. It's like they're two sides of the same coin. They say there's a thin line between love and hate, and love and hate aren't the opposites of each other. The only opposites of love and hate are indifference. There's a reason why they are walking and treading that love-hate relationship, and it has to do with how the previous Christmas went. So it's been a whole year of them being at odds with each other, and it's one of those things where it's just like in like any sitcom, like if they actually talk to each other they might be able to fix all this. Lino is he's very much on the everything needs to be on the computer, I'm very, very organised, and Izzy is the opposite. Like, she likes more handwritten things, she's more of a mess, but an organised mess if anything. And so yeah, their personalities are just complete opposites. But yeah, so they're just trying to, I will say, The ring storyline almost seems like a side piece to kind of what's happening in regards to the romance that's kind of bubbling under the surface between these two main characters, because you're very aware that they are sexually attracted to each other in this book, and that does become a part of the story in trying to figure out what that relationship actually means to each other, because they're both under the impression that they hate each other, but when you look at their individual chapters, you actually see that both of them are actually attracted to each other. So yeah, it's just figuring out that miscommunication and what happened the previous Christmas that made them so angry with each other. Specifically, Izzy being angry with Lino, involving a Christmas card that she wrote to him laughing at a Christmas card, and him kissing somebody else under the mistletoe. And so, yeah, it is very much a communication could have fixed this entire situation, but you kind of understand why Izzy didn't want to talk to him based on the information that she had. So I don't really blame anybody in this situation. And yeah, so they just find each other very frustrating. Admittedly, I'm not usually the biggest fan of enemies to lovers. I prefer friendship to lovers, but this one really does make you root for them, because you're just like, oh, if you just talk to each other, you'll figure out what's the problem, and then you'll realise how much you do actually like each other. As I said, love-hate, it's very, very close together, those two feelings, because they're very strong emotions to have. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought it was so sweet. I love the fact that Lino Faccioli, who reads Lucas, fits the description of the character so well, because in the book, Lucas is Brazilian. Like, Brazil, speaks Portuguese, but also slightly English, and I'll admit, listening to Lino's voice, it was just like, oh, this is really satisfying. And I loved the fluidity in regards to the different accents he did, because you got his very specific accent, but then he was so good at that London accent. It was so seamless, and I think that's what you get from actually having proper actors reading these, because you can hear the different accents being done. Admittedly, when it came to Jessie Cave doing the voice for Lucas in Izzy's chapters, there was no attempt at an accent there. I think it's just because Lino's accent is so unique anyway, so it was better just to try and just do a slightly male voice rather than trying to do the full-on accent. But when it comes to Lucas's chapters, you got his accent doing the narration, and then you've got this very smooth English accent, London accent that comes out when he's doing the voice for Izzy, and it was just so satisfying to listen to. And the fact that he perfectly fits the description of Lucas was just so satisfying, because there are so many times when you can listen to a book, and if you know what they look like in real life, sometimes you're just like, I'm not quite sure this really fits. Because I remember, I think it was it another Beth O'Leary book where, I think it was Beth O'Leary that did the Flatshare book, where it had Carrie Hope Fletcher doing one of the voices, and even though her voice did work with the character, considering the fact the character was supposed to be really tall, and knowing what Carrie Hope Fletcher actually looks like, it was a bit of a moment of just like, oh yeah, but this, you know, even though I could kind of see Carrie playing that role, at the same time she didn't really fit the description of the character. And in this case, I felt like I could see both Lino and Jessie playing these two people. Like, it fits so perfectly. I loved it so much. I've been very stum on like everything, but the side thing of it is them trying to reunite these rings with their owners, and it becomes a bet between the two of them. It's just like, who can do it the most, and then the bet gets bigger and bigger as they go through. But it's ultimately the story of why do Izzy and Lucas hate each other so much, what happened at the Christmas before, and them trying to communicate that with each other by the time that the hotel goes under. But yeah, it was so good. The Wake Up Call, Beth O'Leary. Just thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next time with another video. Stay safe, everybody. Mwah. I love you all. Bye.